What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. We discuss everything going on here in Washington, D.C. with our country, everything you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and daily news. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below right now so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m. 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember those times and tune in so you don't miss out on new videos. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. Yesterday, President Biden had his State of the Union speech and talked about his new Build Back Better stimulus package, which is probably going to be rebranded, potentially called Made in America. And he discussed a lot of different things. And we're going to be going over more details this week as we learn about what might be in the package. A couple things we already know here. One, President Biden says that we are going to be able to order more virus test kits for free from the government starting next week. Okay, so we don't have an exact date. I'll keep you up to date on this. But starting next week from the government website, we're going to be able to order more test kits. So remember that the government website here is covidtest.gov, covidtest with an s.gov. And remember, these sell at like Walmart or CVS or Walgreens or your local grocery store. They're like $22.99, sometimes $29.99 each. You can get them for free from this website, okay? And you don't have to put a credit card in. You don't have to put, all you have to do is put your name and address in. You can see here, every home in the U.S. is eligible for 4 free at-home tests. If you haven't gotten them already, order yours today. Starting next week, every home in the U.S. will be able to order an additional set of 4 tests. Yeah, all you have to do is click this blue button. Starting next week, we'll be able to order more. So keep this in mind. All you need to do, I'll zoom this in here a little bit, you put your name, you can put your email in here if you want to receive shipping notifications. You put your name and your home address in, and you click this green button here. I'll remove myself out of the corner here so you can see it. That's it. There's no credit card needed, no shipping. It costs nothing. If you haven't done this, I'm just going to tell you about this in case, but you can do this again for the second time around. We're going to be able to order 4 more. You just put your name, address in here, and click checkout now. So again, here's the website. Don't go there now. Go there again, you can't even order the new ones yet until next week, is what they say. But write this down, covidtest.gov. It's not .com, it's .gov. So you're definitely going to want to order those, even if you're not sick now, which, I hope you're not. If, my thoughts and prayers go out to anybody that is. You never know when you're going to need these. It could be a month from now. It could be 2 months from now, right? It could be, a relative, right? You want to have these on hand because they're free. They're free. And you never know when you're going to need them. And you sure don't want to go to CVS or, Walmart or anywhere and have to pay $22.99 a pop. Right? You'd rather get them for free. So definitely do this. I'll remind you here as soon as I see when they become available in a few days, or you can just check on your own here next week, whenever that may be, maybe Monday or Tuesday, but at least you know about it for now. Biden also announced yesterday a, quote, test to treat initiative and free virus antiviral treatment after a positive test coming here soon. He announced individuals who test positive at a pharmacy will soon be able to get free antiviral treatments immediately after. Quote, we've ordered more pills than anyone in the world has. Pfizer is working overtime to get us millions of pills this month and more than double that next month. And we're launching the test to treat initiative. So people can get tested at a pharmacy, and if they prove positive, receive the Pfizer antiviral pills on the spot at no cost. And I believe that the Pfizer antiviral pills cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. He says If you're immunocompromised and have some other vulnerability, we have treatments, free high quality masks. We're leaving no one behind or ignored. Anyone needs as we move forward, he added. The FDA has issued emergency use authorizations for Pfizer's Paxlovid and Merck's Molnupiravir virus antiviral oral treatments for mild to moderate cases of the virus. According to White House official, hundreds of these one-stop shops will be open across in the U.S. in the next month in retail locations such as CVS, Walgreens, and Kroger, with the administration planning on growing the program over time. The Test to Treat initiative will also include new actions to educate the public about the availability of new treatments and the importance of starting them soon after the onset of symptoms. Provide information to healthcare providers about these new treatments and distribute antiviral pills directly to long-term care facilities. I personally think this is really, really awesome. This is really, really a step in the right direction because honestly, in the past, we have had even hospitals, if you tested positive and didn't have trouble breathing or anything, hospitals would tell you to go home in some cases if you didn't have a majorly severe problem and there was almost nothing to treat you in the past. I mean, go home and take your vitamins and get rest, right? So this is a major, major step forward now that we actually have, once you test positive, there's actually something to treat you short of being admitted to the hospital if you have a severe case. So, in addition to the vaccine, which is before you catch the virus, now if you actually test positive, there's actually some treatments available. So this is a significant, significant breakthrough, and this is going to be happening potentially this month. So the problem they had before is that there wasn't enough dosages of this available, and they've been making millions and millions of these. So maybe they're catching up because remember when we had the Omicron spike and there was literally a million or more people testing positive per day in some cases, and even more than that because in some cases, because remember that a lot of people were using the at-home tests. We didn't even know how many people were testing positive, and even people that didn't even go into an official testing facility, who knows how many people were testing positive. So now maybe the supply of these antiviral pills is catching up, and they're manufacturing them probably at the fastest rate possible. This is really, really good news on that front. So more test kits coming available. These antiviral test kits are coming available. Both are going to be free. Really, really amazing there. I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, that's really, really awesome that they're going to be free. I mean, couldn't ask for anything better there, right? I mean, I believe that those antiviral pills are like, yeah, you can see right here, the price of Pfizer's antiviral pills are $529 per course. Yeah, so, and the other one is $700 per course. So if they weren't covered by the government, imagine how many people wouldn't be able to access that because they simply didn't have the money. So it's a good thing that the government is paying for that. Yeah, and don't forget that the new Omicron BA.2 subvariant is actually more contagious and can reinfect more people. It isn't more severe, just like the Omicron variant wasn't, but it's more contagious. So if that gives us another spike here in the future, it'll be nice to have these new options for treatments available, right? Because again, well, we never know when a new spike is coming again another time around. We've seen what happened last time. Also, last night, President Biden used his State of the Union address to rebrand and talk about, not in specifics, but just overview of the new Build Back Better plan, which could be called Made in America. And what we will see here potentially going forward in this new Build Back Better package. But again, will have to be passed by Democrats and potentially maybe even Republican support. We have seen some Republican support here recently, including from Republican Senator Mitt Romney, who has some other Republicans in his corner, specifically for the child tax credit, monthly checks as well. Republican Senator Mitt Romney from Utah has unveiled a plan just a few days ago that would send $4,200 in total per year for child tax credits, $350 per month instead of $300 per month for children under the age of 6, and $250 per month for children ages 6 through 17, which is really, really good because that goes out to about 60 million children, and those payments have currently paused because the Democrats have not been able to pause it, largely in part because Senator Joe Manchin has been very wishy-washy, and they have not been able to make a deal with him. So Mitt Romney has kind of stepped up with his own bill and has other Republican support behind it. And they could be able to make a deal with both Republican and Democratic support. And honestly, with President Biden's approval ratings near record low, you can see here amid economic frustration, according to new polls, his approval ratings are not doing well. Just the pandemic, now the whole Russia issue. Yes, it's pretty hard out here right now for a president. The pandemic has just been lingering on here for quite a while. A lot of people stuck in economic frustration as well here. And, the child tax credits have expired here. Think about the 60 million children and their families that are now not getting those payments as well. Think about the 63% of people that are living paycheck to paycheck and we're behind on bills right now and are struggling. And think about the people that are pushing. There's millions of people pushing for a fourth stimulus check to be included in this next stimulus package, to use the $800 billion that Congress has already approved that is leftover stimulus money from stimulus package 1, stimulus package 2, and stimulus package 3, and to put a general stimulus check in here and to give it out to low and medium low income people to help with inflation. Inflation is a really big deal right now, and by some polls, it's the number one concern. Maybe the Russia-Ukraine issue right now, maybe might have topped that, just because it's a potential World War III issue. That's just it's obviously it's major news right now. But inflation is also still major news, and that whole Russia issue is also hurting inflation as well because of the price of oil and the price of gas. The price of oil hit $105 in the last 24 hours. It just continues to go up, and because of this whole Russia issue. In fact, they talked about yesterday, and a lot of Republicans are saying they need to drill more at home. We need to be more energy reliant. Which we do. We actually could be energy reliant just by not selling our oil overseas. 38% of our oil and gas is actually sold. Okay, so we only import about 8% of our oil from Russia, but we export 38, approximately, because this number could change on any given month, right? They export a little bit more, or import a little bit less, or anything like that. But we export about 38% of our oil from the U.S. to other countries. Okay, now remember that a lot of this is not just necessarily Biden or Trump or anything like that, but you have to deal with the oil companies, Exxon, Chevron, BP, Shell, they're doing their own economic thing as well, right? So you gotta kind of remember that. But you gotta think about drilling and fracking and all that stuff as well. The gas pipeline that was shut down, that's not necessarily drilling, it's just kind of more the transportation of the oil. So not necessarily production of oil there, just kind of the transportation of the oil. So not really a huge issue there. It's just transporting it, really. Um, but if we didn't ship as much oil overseas, more would stay home. Um, we could be energy independent just by not shipping it overseas. But remember, the companies have a lot to deal with that, right? Now, the Biden administration can kind of mandate that, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Because remember, all this whole Russia-Ukraine issue is tied in with the price of oil, and literally since this has happened, the price of oil has just gone up by the day. It's now up to around $105 a barrel. Experts are saying it could go to $125 a barrel just in a matter of days. And I mean, it's just literally, I was talking to you guys about this just a few days ago, and it was at $95 a barrel. Now it's at 105 a barrel. And it's just like, yeah, it's just all this hurts us. So, and I mean, passing a Build Back Better package with stimulus checks, child tax credit checks, a Social Security raise sometime this year, all these different things, lowering the cost for Americans, whether it's lowering the cost of prescription drug pricing, lowering the cost of childcare, lowering the cost of pre-K, whatever is going to be in this next package, and maybe a package after that, all these things will help lower the cost for Americans, as well as making things in America. That's a fine line because typically when you make things in America, they may cost more, but not necessarily because right now when you think about President Biden said yesterday that about 1/3 of the inflation from last year was from automobiles. So automobile prices skyrocketed last year, and in fact, a lot of dealers are charging thousands of dollars of premiums over MSRP. They call it market dealer markup and market adjustment, and it's because there's a shortage of chips. So if they make chips here in the U.S., then that inflation potentially doesn't happen. Okay, and actually do kind of need to make chips here in the U.S. because we can't be reliant on other countries here. Okay, we can't. I mean, think about if something like a war or World War III happens. What if we don't have our own computer chips? Like, we need to be making stuff like that here at home. And President Biden said we do have a new major manufacturing plant starting with chips near Columbus, Ohio. So we need to be making some of that stuff here at home at the bare minimum. At the bare minimum, oil, computer chips, like security stuff, like that stuff has to be made here in the U.S. You think about like prescription drugs are made here in the U.S. Like we can't trust stuff like that to be made in a third world country. Same thing with the computer chips and security stuff and oil. Like a lot of this stuff needs to be made in America, right? And honestly, the more stuff that gets made in America, at first it might cost a little bit more, but as they make it more and more, the price of that stuff comes down. As things get more efficient, what happens? The price of stuff comes down. Think about TVs, phones. Think about the cost of TVs over the years. I mean, TVs used to be super expensive. Nowadays, you can buy a 60-inch TV for a couple $100, right? They used to be $5,000. Now they're $500, right? I mean, dramatic cost reduction in technology, right? So same thing. I mean, at first things are, when you think about technology, expensive, but as things get more efficient, the price will come down. Same thing with manufacturing here in the U.S. We got to start doing more and more here in the U.S. And whenever you do something here in the U.S., you don't have to pay to ship it. You don't have to ship it on a barge all the way halfway across the world. And you also got to remember that if we ever have problems with China or problems with Russia, we're not reliant on them. We're not reliant as much on them, right? So all these things are factored into this potential made in America stimulus package. And We'll be discussing here as we learn more what's going to be in it, what's going to be about it, how they're going to pass it here on our YouTube channel here. So make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so, so you don't miss out on new videos. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And also help us reach 400,000 subscribers. We're at 399,000. So help us reach that goal. We're trying to make it there. And you guys are the best. I love being here with you guys on a daily basis. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And this video is how there could be monthly stimulus checks coming out. Interesting video there as well if you haven't seen it. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.